Hello everyone. So it is it's probably around 20 minutes or so again, maybe a bit longer. Also, since I finished watching Wild Blue Yonder from Doctor Who, I've been really excited about it all week, so keep in mind this is a spoiler review if you didn't see the title or thumbnail, so yes. Now, I think it was a good episode. Now I'm going to go over it and such. So we open up with the times with some point in the past at 1666, I think. I assume the that will become relevant later in Shooty Gatwa's season or the next special. As I don't, because it didn't really play a part aside from one line of dialogue that's said later on in the episode that I don't quite remember where, so I'll just have to say it when I'm done with this segment of the episode. And the Doctor and Donna crash in an apple tree. Some historical guy, I can't remember the name he had, so sorry again. Yeah, they have a little bit of a chat, and then Donna asks I think what is one of his quotes or something, and the Doctor allows it, and she says it, and Donna sets the timeline off a bit, and has it so he forgets. So he doesn't say gravity, he says mavity or something like that. I know it has, I think, gravity or mavity. I think it's mavity. But later on in the episode, the Doctor says gravity, and then Donna goes what, and then he goes mavity. So yeah, that was a subtle bit that I quite liked, that they kept continuity with there. So I think that will be something that either will come into play with the next special Wiggle or in Shooting Atwood's season. I do think it was a bit strange for that opener, but I do know, but it will become relevant, I assure you, I think it will. So yeah, we then have the titles, and then we crash land on a ship. That's adds the Captain Killer self to because of the two beasts that we see later. The TARDIS breathes out fire. Then the Doctor and Donna look around, and they hear the TARDIS going after the Doctor does a bit of stuff to get the TARDIS to regenerate itself. They come back, they see it's gone. And then so they start to explore again. They come across a robot that's making its way every cycle, every like few minutes or so. So I assume then it wasn't long since the Captain killed herself, thinking about it now. Depending on how long it was, of course. It may have been hundreds of years, but who knows. Anyway, the Doctor and Donna continue to look around, and they go into a control room and stuff, and they have more looking around, and then they haven't, each of them having a conversation with each other, and we keep on intercutting, and it tricks the viewer into thinking they are at different points in time, but they're actually happening at the same time, and we're introduced to the beasts. I assume they are of a liquid form, because later on we see the beast Donna. That's what I'm going to call her. I'm just going to call them Beast Doctor and Beast Donna, and then Doctor and Donna. We see Beast Donna sort of being not having the lower half of her body at one point, and it's all liquidy or slimy. So I assume they don't have a proper physical form that is solid, and it's more liquidy, but they can take the shape of different forms, because as we see their bodies sort of having their arms extend, them getting an extra knee, having the jaws drop, turning into the liquids, having very, very flexible bodies. So we see stuff like that, and I assume that means they're a liquidy sort of thing, and that's heavily or slimy, and that it sort of is implied by that one on the scene. Anyway, the rest for a lot of the episode now, it's a lot of the Doctor and Donna getting separated, and they keep on coming, and they come across the beasts, and then they go and they get back to each other again, and when they do come across the beasts, they're separated, so they have to figure out which one's which, and then they figure it out, and then so. there's a lot that happens in this episode, but can very easily be summarised. So I'm sorry if this video is going to be a lot shorter than the Star Beast one. But there's a lot more of this stuff going on in the Star Beast. Anyway, then they come across. Then Doctor and Donna escape from the Beast. Donna and Beast Doctor. They come back. They all four get united. The Doctor figures out which Donna's which. He figures out it's the real Donna. Then they are together. The Doctor puts down Salt, and the Beast Donna gets starting to count the grains of salt, which I must say, I don't know how it was, but I must say I think Catherine Tate may have had a bit of fun doing the quick counting. I'm pretty sure it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, something like that. And she would count really fast and then go all the way back to 1, which I assume is why Donna blew the salt so they could get by the Beast Donna, I mean. So then they get chased and they have a bit of a confrontation. The Doctor figures out the Captain knew about these beasts and killed herself, but set a self-destruct timer, and it's all very slow. And then they're making a run for the robot, and the Doctor speeds it up, and Donna gets into a fight with Beast Donna. Then the Doctor gets really close to Beast Doctor, and the Beast Doctor goes into animal mode and starts running on all fours. However, the Doctor realises now there was something previously mentioned in the episode called the HADS or something like that, and it was a mechanism that would advertise escape if they was in hostile danger, and then return when it was gone, and that's what was going on. But it must have, and the Doctor said it must have turned back on because with repairing itself. And then because it knew the beasts were going to die, it returned, and it picks up the Doctor, and he sort of wields it from the side, and then the two Donnas are there, and he picks up the wrong Donna. They get in the wrong Donna gets in the TARDIS. They make an escape. The real Donna begs for the Doctor to come back, and then the Beast Doctor gets engulfed in the explosion from the robot. So then Donna's just watching, waiting for Doom to come. The Doctor realises that the Beast Donna's arms are like a millimetres too long, which is very impressive, but this is the Doctor we're talking about, so you have to expect him to find it out. So he returns, turns the part of the TARDIS she was standing on into a ramp. She slides out, and the real Donna goes in, and they escape, and the Beast Donna is also killed, and then they return home to Earth, and we see Wilfried Mott. I think that was a very nice scene to see, and I think Bernard Cribbins did very well in that single scene. I think it was a very nice and sweet scene that they did, and I think even before Bernard Cribbins did pass away, I think it was a scene that I think was very much needed, and I think it's only probably made more impactful from Bernard's passing, which is unfortunate, but it's very still nice to see him on screen, even after all this time. So and we see Earth going into a bit of a crazy mode, and the Doctor and Donna then Wilfried towards the TARDIS to protect him or something, and that's where the episode ends. So we're going to see the Toy Maker next episode. Woo! Been looking forward to seeing the Toy Maker. I really hope they don't mess him up, but overall I quite enjoyed Wild Blue Yonder. I think it was a good episode, and it was one that I think I can see what Russell T Davies was meaning with creepy and stuff, but I do find the beasts to be a bit goofy. But this is Doctor Who, and they will always have that goofy thing. It's sort of, what was that episode, the Matt Smith era, where they had the flesh clones, and there was that lady that had her jaw just really extend out, and the faces could look pale and a bit flat, if you know what I mean. They just didn't quite look right. And there was that girl that had her jaw like slowly dropped down really far, like almost down to the ground, and she was in the orange jumpsuit. That's sort of what that draw scene with the Beast Doctor sort of reminded me of. And CGI is better, of course, but it's still very bad. I think the Beast CGI could have been better, but I think that's what gives Doctor Who its charm, the bad CGI. That's something I've definitely had a bit more appreciation for over the past few, over the past few weeks. So after watching quite a bit of Who culture. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I quite enjoy the episodes. I'm very much looking forward to the next episodes. I think the thing with this episode though is that I think to summarise the plot is very short. You don't have to explain much because of how little happens, but how much happens at the same time. But it's easily summarised. So that's, I think, the only issue is with me with this when it comes to doing this. But I quite enjoyed it. As I said, and I think it will be a very nice episode. I think it's a very good episode of Doctor Who, and I'm very much looking forward to the giggle. So, especially, and I think I'm going to be even more excited that it's the Toy Maker. I went back and rewatched the Toy Maker episodes back in I think October and back in October and earlier and November. So, in preparation for the 60th specials, I went and watched those. So, I really hope they don't get the Toy Maker's character wrong, because from what it seems, they will maybe be altering a bit of who he is. Especially with Michael Gove's interpretation. I don't know David Bailey's, I think that's who he was, who did him in The Nightmare Fair and a few audios. Because I haven't gone over those yet. But Michael Gove's version of the Toy Maker, he's very calm. He's very calm, but he's sinister, and he's got a bit of a menace in his voice. It's very reassuring and stuff with his voice, but there is that hint of menace that tells you he's not what he seems he is. And I really hope they don't mess that up when they come to Neil Patrick Harris's version of the Toy Maker. And the thing was, I think another thing that really assisted in the Toy Maker's, what do I call it? In his with his body movements, they're very subtle. Whenever he uses, the only movements you really see with him is when he snaps his fingers to his magical abilities, when he talks, and when he's walking about a bit. He does do a few others, like holding on to, like putting his hands on the TARDIS, raising his hands when the Doctor is about to win the game, and sitting down. But he doesn't do a lot of movements. A lot of the movements he does, they're just very subtle. So yes, and I think that's another thing that adds to the Toy Maker's menace. And the thing is that he also knows that, despite having internal life, and he wants to have as much fun as he likes, and he doesn't like losing. He knows he's going to win, either way. He knows you're going to die if you win. He knows you're going to become his plaything if you lose. The game is rigged to be in his favour. No matter what happens, you're going to succumb to something of the Toy Maker, and I think that is something that I hope they don't mess up on the Toy Maker. And especially with this amount of time, I really do think the Toy Maker is going to be seeking to destroy the Doctor. I know that seems rather generic for a Doctor Who villain, but I think it should be vital for them to either show the original scene of the Toy Maker losing at the start of the giggle, or they show the Toy Maker, or they explain why the Toy Maker is trying to kill the Doctor, because he isn't your generic Doctor Who baddie. He's in the original story. I can see the Toy Maker wanting to destroy the Doctor because he escaped when he should have been killed and then winning the game, and that's something that I think the Toy Maker would very much be looking to do. So I think that's what he's going to be doing. You may even put the Doctor into another game and the Donna into a game as well. I think that's something that will. I think that's something that the Toy Maker may do, but from what it seems, that does not seem to be the case. And I think the Earth going mad is a thing of the Toy Makers, and yes, well, with the toy maker, he is the toy maker, and I do think he would do something like what he's doing with Earth. I don't think we don't know a lot of what's going on yet, but I don't think it's very much in character for him to do something like what he's doing here with the Earth at the moment. It just doesn't seem very toy maker like. In my opinion, that is, in my opinion. It just, with the toy maker, he doesn't do stuff like send people crazy. He just puts them into a game. Basically says, do you know the rules, and if you don't, he will explain them to you, and then you just get playing the game, and you either win or lose. That's sort of how it goes with the toy maker. You're chosen by him to play a game. You play the games that he wants, whether it's against him or his puppets, dolls, toys, and then you either win or lose, and either way you succumb to something from the toy maker, whether it's death or joining him in his dollhouse. So I really hope that's the kind of route they take, but it doesn't seem like that's what they're going to be taking. I think the concept of the Nightmare Fair is also something that I'm not too sure on, because the thing is with that as well is that I haven't personally gone through the Nightmare Fair, I just know some snippets of it, but the video game thing of that can come out and kill you, I'm not too sure whether when that comes in. I don't know whether it's if you lose the game or win the game. Well, that's perfectly in character for the toy maker, but if it isn't, if it's at random, then that's out of character from the toy maker, in my opinion. Because the thing is that he enjoys amusement. He wants to be amused. He wants to see you figure everything out that you're doing. That his idea of amusement is very much similar to ours, but also a bit different at the same time, and so that's what I hope they do. Anyway, enough talk about the toy maker. So yeah, I think that will do it for this video. Although I will probably be doing a few streams, because I am making the 14th Doctor's TARDIS in the TARDIS Fly Classic. So I will probably be doing a few streams on that, and if you wanted to stop by, you can go to the link. You can go to my second channel. The link will be in the description below. And you can always check up there when I'm doing the TARDIS. It will be the new series TARDIS is super complicated, so I could probably use a bit of motivation. So yeah, I'll see you everyone next time. I really enjoyed Wild Blue Yonder, even with the goofy beasts. They're still rather fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing the toy maker next week. I really am. Yeah, the toy maker became one of, if not my favourite Doctor Who villain, just from watching the story, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him make his grand return. So yeah, see you everyone.